Mandee,
Katie,
there you are. I found you.
you did.
And as promised, I will not sing to you. I don't want to make people's ears bleed,
Well, listen, that's real thoughtful of you.
but I do want to say happy birthday.
Thanks.
So there we go. Happy birthday to you, ma'am.
Thanks.
29 again.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do. I stopped at 29.
No, I don't want to stop at 29.
I kind of like my 40s.
Heck yeah. 40s have been great.
I do too.
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm just glad I found you. I'm glad you were born. I'm glad you're my friend. I'm glad we're doing this together. So
Thanks, man. Me
yay.
too.
Yay, yay, yay.
What's
Did you
happening?
well, I finished The Women.
And
I really loved it. There were some literary choices that I did not adore. It's definitely not my favorite of all the Kristen Hannahs, but it is worth the read. Everybody that's read it, once we're done with it, we kind of have the same thought. It's like, I had no idea. Because, in school, they like stop after World War II. They don't
yeah.
teach much about this era at all. I mean, I knew some of it. I knew that a lot of vets were ridiculed when they got back and, spit on and terrible, terrible things. But I had no idea. I had no idea. And so that was very eye-opening. It's very good. It's very, very heavy. So if you I would not read it right after another very heavy book or you'll go into a deep dark depression. But
Yeah.
it's really good. It's absolutely worth the read. It is beautifully told.
That's what when that sort of reminds me of The Four Winds, which when Birch texted that she was reading that, and I knew that she was also watching Band of Brothers.
Yeah, that's a
I
lot.
was like, you need to space all this out because
Yeah.
the Four Winds was about the Dust Bowl.
Yes.
Um, and I read Grapes of Wrath, but I still didn't really understand. Like
Mm-mm.
I learned stuff about the Dust Bowl that I
Mm.
had never like. That was crazy, and
Yeah.
also very heavy and very well told and all that. So yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds like a Kristen Hanna book. But I'm proud
And
of you for finishing it.
yeah, it was the same way about Vietnam and the aftermath too.
Yeah,
Um, I hope you will read it.
of course I will.
Because afterward I want to tell you what my friend said about the book and see if you agree. I do. It's really, again, I've never read anything I didn't love that she wrote. It's just
Mhm.
there's some that I like better than others, but they're all really good. So highly
That's
recommend.
good.
Um, as you may remember, last week I told y'all that I was going to go to Macon to see my dad have his Hamilton moment.
Hmm.
And he did. And the speaker did say the name Hamilton. And I want it noted that I did not
Yell
sing any
out,
lines. I did not
Rochambeau!
I did not yell out Rochambeau. Nobody in that room would have gotten it.
I don't know. You may be surprised.
I brought down the average age by like 20 years.
Still, Hamilton's pretty. It was in the zeitgeist for a while.
Yeah, some of them might have known that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Rochambeau, go man, go. I really wanted to so bad, but I did not.
I'm real proud.
But the whole thing was at what I like to call the Busy Minute, but it's the Idlehour Country Club. You get it instead of the Idlehour, it's the Busy Minute.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, it was at the Busy Minute, and I love eating there, but only for one reason. So have you ever eaten there before?
I have.
They have warm buttered saltine crackers. Have you had those?
Don't remember that, but I probably don't remember much of what I did there.
Okay. So what they do is they bring these baskets before every meal, and they have other things, but they have buttered saltine crackers. And I try not to eat that kind of stuff all the time, like as a treat at the busy minute, I'll eat it, but I found out the secret and I thought
Okay.
I would share it with y'all. So you lay the saltines out on a cookie sheet and you don't use regular butter. You get the popcorn butter and use that and spread that, like douse the saltines in the popcorn butter and then put them in the oven and let them warm up and soak up all that butter. But it's the popcorn butter.
Got it. I bet that is
And
good.
I sat at a table with several characters. We'll just say that several characters. And one of the characters had lots of brown liquor in him. And so he went back to the kitchen and asked, kindly, I assume, for a basket of the warm saltines when no other tables had them.
Listen, I'll hang
And
out with him any day.
yeah, so he was great, and he brought back this big old basket of warm saltines, and I was done. I was like, "This okay, I'm here for
Saltines,
this."
buttered saltines take me straight back to the 80s.
Yes.
And you used to go to the restaurant and they would bring you
Yep.
crackers and
Mhm.
those little things of butter.
Mhm.
And you butter your saltine,
Mhm.
ruin your supper.
Amen, and look, this is like that on crack.
Yeah, I bet. Warmed up. Well, that's, Miss Seal in Noonan, who owns the Redneck Gourmet, she does Seal's crackers, they're called.
Mm,
And that's basically what they are.
yeah.
But she may actually deep fry hers.
See, these are just in the oven, but the trick for those is the popcorn butter. Deep
Yeah.
frying 'em is a whole nother level of yummy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's if you ever go to the redneck and you're getting a salad and you can ask for Seal's crackers, but you have to ask for them. It costs you a little more, but you can get
Totally
Seal's
worth it.
crackers on the side instead of the regular saltines.
I love it.
Highly recommend.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. The other highlight of the weekend was that I saw 2 dogs, not 1, but 2 dogs named Freddie Freeman, and they were
Good
both
dog.
the best boys, and they were so excited to see me. Again, I say, no one else on this planet is as excited to see me as those dogs.
Yeah. Well, Freddie that I was supposed to get, who procurement has been delayed because he cut his foot. Um, we don't give our dogs last names in the rescue, but he is Freddie
Mm,
Freeman. He was
mhm,
named for Freddie
mhm.
because I was asked to give Braves names, and Freddie Freeman will always be a Brave in my heart.
Same. Same. So that these 2 families are big baseball and Braves fans, and so I was covered up with Freddie Freeman's.
I love it. Those are
I
good
got
folks.
lots of kisses from Freddie Freeman this weekend.
Those are good folks.
It
We
was
should
great.
talk about real quickly, all the spring training uh, things are heating up. But I saw and it appears to me, Freddie Freeman and his wife Chelsea have 3 sons. They have Charlie, who's probably like second grade, and then they have twins who aren't really twins. One was a in vitro,
Hmm.
and one was a surrogate because they didn't think that they could do that. Or maybe it's not even in vitro. Maybe the second one wasn't even in vitro. Maybe
An
they just
oops,
pregnant.
baby.
I can't remember. But
What?
anyway,
Uh,
no, no, no. Anyway, they're not twins, but they're the same age,
yeah.
basically. Maximus and Brandon. Well, it appears to me from my social media followings that Freddie has taken Charlie with him to spring training in Arizona because Chelsea is not there and she appears to still be in their house with the little boys. But Charlie is in every picture that the Dodgers, like every time the Dodgers post a batch of pictures, Charlie Freeman is in that. There was a video last week of him standing on first base taking balls. Like Freddie would take one and then Charlie would take one.
Stop it.
And then yesterday, apparently they had a day off and the manager of the Dodgers hosted some sort of golf event. and Freddie and their catcher Will Smith were playing together along with Charlie. And Charlie was playing so much better than Freddie that they kept using Charlie's ball instead of Freddie's ball.
And he's how old?
He's like maybe second grade.
Love it.
Yeah, it's
I
the
love
cutest
that.
thing you'll ever see. Speaking of our beloved Freddie.
Our beloved Freddie Freeman.
Oh, still makes me sick.
I know. I know. I know. So the last thing is I'm gonna change the names to protect the not so innocent, but I'm gonna tell a real funny story, and it's a warning to all of us whose age starts with at least a 4.
Okay.
I know when I say that I can watch sporting events and then do the event that I am in fact kidding, right?
Okay.
So when my friend saw a video of a young girl that still has her bloom who has a minivan,
You talk like 111-year-old human being.
well,
What does that mean?
ask what's that comedian, Leanne Morgan, that's what she calls young girls that have not lost their bloom, which is I have. They can still sneeze and not tinkle.
Okay. Okay. I thought you were like referring to like a period.
No.
I thought you were calling
No.
somebody's menses their bloom.
No.
It's like, what the hell are you
No,
talking
our
about?
youth, our bloom, our flowers are withering because we have wrinkles and we're old.
Listen, we're not ageist on this podcast. I want to
No,
have this talk.
we're realists.
Okay, sorry.
Because what
Continue.
my
She's still a
friend,
young girl. She sees a video of a young girl.
a young girl who had the tailgate of her minivan open. And you know, on the minivan and some of the SUVs now have that button that you push to let the tailgate down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this precious young child who still can stretch and bend kicked her foot above her head and hit that button with her toe. And my friend who has lost her bloom and is look, we're not young anymore. She thought to herself, like I think to myself, oh, I could do that. And she tried. And she now has she's got a crutch. There are things twisted and torn.
Bless her heart.
As a cautionary tale.
How'd you do that?
Exactly. I said to her sister, who's my very good friend, and I have met her through her sister. I said she needs to make up a better story because the real story's gonna make her look real bad. So she needs to say, like, my go-to is bar fight. Like, I was defending someone's honor in a bar fight. That sounds better than I thought I could kick my foot above my head and hit the button on my tailgate with my toe
of my minivan.
of my minivan.
Listen, I'm just gonna say, if you're old enough to own a minivan, odds are you are too old to kick the button.
Thank you.
Bless her heart.
I know. And God love her. So, cautionary tale. I realize I cannot actually do a triple loop.
But you thought you could do the ice dancing choreography.
Look, she was on her knees just swaying back and forth. There was no skating involved.
Girl, that is the most iconic
I know.
ice dancing performance
Look,
ever.
Just that one part. I couldn't do the rest of it. Just that one part.
Oh Lord.
Look, so it's a cautionary tale, people. It's a cautionary tale. If you think that you can kick
There's a line from Steel Magnolias. Not "Are you high, Clary?" Not that one, but it's about that same sort of. I can't think of it.
I was
I
like,
have
you
to.
have
I'll
got
have
to
to
be
watch it.
kidding. And this girl is smart. I mean, like, has extra
Listen,
degrees.
sometimes we need to challenge ourselves and get
Look,
out of our comfort zone, but we just have to remember that our backs like to be thrown out when we, pick up a suitcase.
cautionary tale. So I thought I would pass that along as a public service announcement.
So funny.
Don't
Lord.
kick your car.
Don't worry. Listen, I'm
Don't
not
do it.
kicking my car. I'm not out in the world doing anything. I am sitting around watching baseball, scrolling Instagram feeds, looking at baseball posts. I will watch baseball. My back will hurt because I will sit in an uncomfortable chair
For
at the
too long.
stadium, but that's all I'm going to be doing. Don't you worry.
She did what?
Yeah, no, no. We are all baseball all the time over here. The Vandy boys had their first game Friday night. Had an exciting comeback
Yes.
win. One
Good.
Lindsey Swanson was in the house. Let me tell you.
That cutie pie.
I texted my sister because she has season tickets, and so I was like, "Dansby's in the Hawk." And later on, she was like, "Dansby was there. Nobody told me." I was like, "Well, if you'd read your damn text messages." And then Saturday, he actually got in the booth
Yeah.
and it's like, doing some
Oh,
commentary.
we love it when these boys get in the booth.
So that was fun, getting to hear his take on the young guys and what he
Yeah.
thinks. And Vanderbilt has a great program. I don't know when exactly it started. I get, David Price, who won a World Series with the Red Sox. So I think that was 2018, maybe. David Price was like the first round draft pick out of Vanderbilt. And so I think maybe it started after he graduated, but Coach Corbin set up like an alumni locker room.
Yeah.
And so anybody who's in the majors has a locker at Vanderbilt and they're welcome to
Oh,
come work out anytime they want.
I
So,
love that.
which is great for the college kids,
Yeah.
because they get to be up close and personal with the pros. In fact, I heard there's a new podcast. It's probably been on a year now, but it's called Foul Territory, and it's several former players who have started a podcast, and they actually interviewed one of the Vandy boys pitchers this week, and he was talking about how he had just watched Sonny Gray pitch, and so it's just a great opportunity for them. So that
I
was really
love
cool.
that.
Um, and then Spencer Strider, I kept seeing this meme. I thought it was a meme
Yeah.
that had like expanded the size of his thighs.
What?
Really ain't no meme. That boy's thighs. Like he's always, they call him Quadzilla. His thighs have always been big. I don't know if it's these new uniforms they have that everybody hates. I don't know what is going on. But that boy's thighs, I mean, it looks like Popeye's bicep.
All right, let me Google.
I mean, it is comical how big his thighs are. And there's a lot of, so for those of you who are not baseball aficionados, the talking point this week in baseball
Oh,
are the,
oh.
are, right? Or
And
this, like,
I'm gonna say calves.
yeah, his whole legs, but those, golly. Um, so they have redone the uniforms.
I was gonna
Um,
ask you about this. So this was gonna be my question to you was what do you think?
I mean, I'm not that. Like, I don't, in fact, Vandy has a bunch of new uniforms this year, and like people always have an opinion. Like, you listen to the Big Boo podcast,
Yeah.
always have thoughts. Really, my only thoughts about any uniforms are that the UT orange uniforms are the ugliest uniforms on the face of the earth.
Yeah.
But other than that, I really don't have an opinion on uniforms. But apparently, the quality of these uniforms, like they have a new manufacturer. And so the quality of them is different. and
Yes.
they fit differently. I've heard several players talk about how they can't like get the pants custom fit like they usually could, and now they're like
Obviously, Spencer is having some issues.
all the golly Walker Bueller. Um, they all the pictures are starting to come out now, and anybody who you can see like their thighs in their picture, you can also see their shirt tucked into
Yeah.
their pants. I saw a tweet today that said something like, "There's a less, whatever, not less than zero, whatever the correct terminology there is, but like we're going to see somebody's whole hog this year."
Yep. So I've done a little bit of investigative journalisming,
Uh huh.
just a little.
Uh huh.
So it's a new Nike uniform, and
Hmm.
Nike's been testing this new material for a really long time, and it's supposed to dry quicker and when they sweat in the heat. But
Yeah.
because of the new material, they can't do the stitching that they normally do around the name letters. So it really, if I was going to equate it to something, I would say it looks like the old iron-on letters that we had in 1997 to make, t-shirts with sayings on them.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like because there is no stitching
Contrast.
anywhere. And so
Yeah.
it's a real, I don't know. It looks one of the players said it looks like I got it off the sale rack at TJ Maxx,
Yeah. Yeah.
which
That's
cracked me up. But it is supposedly some new wicking,
material. Yeah.
drying, I don't know, whatever. But I can tell the difference, but it's mainly in the lettering and the numbering because of how they have to put it on.
Yeah. I was listening to the Baseball Today podcast yesterday, and they have a guy on named Todd Radom, and he's like I can't, I, he's like a graphic designer maybe, but he does like big time logos. So like he
Mhm.
did the logo for the World Baseball Classic last year. He does like team
Mm.
logos. He
Mhm.
helps with like design of stadiums and stuff. And so they were going to have him on, and I didn't listen long enough to hear him. I need to go back and
Yeah.
sort of get his take on it. But yeah, so that's if you want to be, if you are not a baseball fan, but you're hanging around a bunch of baseball fans, and you want to throw out a little fact to make you seem like you know more than you do, then just throw out something about, gosh, those new uniforms look awful, and then you'll seem like you know what you're talking about.
Spencer Strider's thighs are just huge.
Lord.
So I will say, along the baseball vein, that Auburn swept their first series.
Good, nicely done, Auburn.
We
Vandy
are
did
not
not.
ranked, but we played Eastern Carolina, so we're easing into things.
As everybody in the SEC does.
So I'm slightly, you know, excited about that.
Good.
We'll see. Cautiously optimistic.
Vandy lost last night too, so they're
Oh.
2-2. I know.
Oh.
It's fine. It's fine.
Well, Auburn basketball has been kind of a mixed bag too. So we won one, lost one. So we've dropped down to like 14 or something. So there's
Are you
that.
on the bubble?
I don't think we're going to be on the, well, no, let me think. No, because there are 30 something teams. So I think we're still good
Oh yeah,
overall.
yeah. Oh, you're ranked 14th.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you're not on the
Yeah.
bubble.
14th or
You're in.
15th. So we're good. It's just where we're going to be seated.
Yeah,
And this weekend, also, speaking of Auburn baseball legends, Frank Thomas
yeah.
opened up the new um, VIP baseball experience lounge thing that they named after him. And then he went to the basketball game and cheered on everybody. And Bo
Okay,
was
that's
there
good.
too this week. So it's been a big week for Auburn legends as well.
I saw a clip of some fan coming up to Bo asking for a selfie, and he was like, "No, watch the game."
Yeah, I know. He's very
I was
serious.
like, "Yes."
He's very serious.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Frank Thomas, Here's another little factoid for you. He is the only SEC player who has been inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Really?
How about that?
Hopefully that'll change
I
soon.
have not fact checked that, but I saw that somebody mentioned that.
You have not done some investigative journalisming
I did not fact check
yet.
it. Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely in there. I don't know if he's the only SEC player. That seems a little weird, but I guess a lot of people do skip SEC ball to go straight to the MLB. So that might
Yeah.
be true.
Yeah. And they haven't always been a powerhouse.
No. No.
Yeah.
I will say Frank Thomas is a giant human. Like
Yeah.
just the pictures of him standing next to, all the VIP, the president of the university and the whoever and, the baseball coach. I was like, dang, he's a large
Big,
individual.
he a big boy.
He's a big boy. So
Oh.
yeah.
But yeah,
It's
so that's all I've been involved in is just some
yeah.
baseball. Um I do so spring break's coming.
Mhm.
And so all the influencers I follow on Instagram are starting to get their questions for what should I wear for spring break? And the I had a thing I don't understand. And
Oh,
I think people may disagree with me, but here's my take. Don't understand white jeans.
I don't own any white
Because
pants at all.
because white jeans immediately tag you as a suburban
Mhm.
middle-aged mom,
Mhm.
which that's fine. If you're a suburban middle-aged mom and you feel cute in your white jeans, go for it. But I
Just
just
don't
kinda
kick your
don't
tailgate.
yeah, don't kick your tailgate in your white jeans. But I just I just have to throw that out there as an alternative opinion that your white jeans are gonna age you.
Yeah, I don't own white pants at all. I'm not probably ever gonna wear white pants. I mean, that's just
I have a pair of white jeans, and every time I put them on, I think, well, now I look like a suburban mom. So
Yeah,
anyway, that's just all I have to say about
hot
that.
take.
Yeah, yeah. So
Um, what about your birthday? Okay, look, here's what I also want to ask you. I saw on your Instagram that you had 3 desserts,
yes, I did.
and I wanted descriptions of those desserts, please and thank you. They
Okay.
looked delicious.
Well, hot on the tail of the Whole Foods uh, grocery recommendations.
Mm.
I did a big Whole Foods order. I think I did ended up doing it on Saturday, which was my birthday. Um, and listen, when you're ordering your own birthday cake, you can get whatever you want.
Whatever.
And I couldn't quite decide what I wanted. So I got 3 different things. I
I love
got
that.
a gigantic cookies and cream cupcake, which was a chocolate cupcake with like cookies and cream icing.
It looked delicious.
Delicious. I got a slice of tiramisu, also delicious.
One of my favorites.
And then I had tried to get a slice of the chantilly berry cake, which I had recommended
Mhm.
last week, and they were
Yes.
out. So they
Oh,
substituted a strawberry shortcake, which is basically the chantilly berry cake, but with just strawberries.
yeah.
Y'all, that cake is good.
Okay.
That was the best thing.
Love it. So I was online on a Candler Zoom last night till 9 o'clock. And I usually go on Tuesdays or Thursdays after class to do my swing through the grocery stores like we talked about last week. So I have not been yet. But I am dying to go to Whole Foods, and one of those things I may pick up now as a splurge for myself is one of those desserts, now that I know that's where they're from.
Yeah, girl, all 3 of them.
Love it.
And they do sell that chantilly cake, like, they sell it by the slice.
Love it.
What I got. I started to get like a miniature cake, and then I was like, no, I can't decide what I want. So
I
I
like
was
the
actually going to make myself my own cake, which I like to do as well because I have little 6-inch cake pans.
mm,
Because my favorite birthday cake is really a chocolate cake with 7-minute frosting.
love 7 minute.
But it was raining, and you
It
can't do
does. You
7-minute
can't do
frosting in the
7 minute.
rain. So
Um, if you listened to my sermon from Sunday, it was
yeah.
about how I'm afraid of yeast. And I should have added meringue and
No,
caramel to that list.
no, no. Don't be
If it's
afraid.
weather dependent, if I don't know.
I will say
I'm not afraid of those like I am of yeast though.
back when I was a professional baker, one of the things I did was a sweet potato pie with a ginger snap crust
Mm.
and a marshmallow meringue frosting. Listen, it was so good. But we started this whole thing to make all these for people for Thanksgiving. And when I woke up like 2 days before Thanksgiving, or the day before Thanksgiving, I think it was really, and it was raining, and I had all these meringues to make, I was like, what have I done? I have to go back to practicing law.
Yeah. Caramel is kind of the same way. I know I've said it on here. One of the things I regret most in life is that I didn't sit down with my dad's mom and learn how to make her caramel icing with her. I have the recipe, but it's just not the same. I'm sure there were things that she would do, but that's very weather dependent too. And so that scares me a little bit, but you know,
Don't be scared.
I know. I know.
Don't be scared. Speaking of food, tell
Oh,
us,
yes.
Katie, about your food picks for the week.
So, um, Valentine's Day is my least favorite holiday on the planet. However, my little church had a Valentine's brunch after church on the what was it, the 18th minus 7, the 12th or whatever that was. And so, which I love a brunch, as we've discussed. And one of the best
Just,
things that we had,
I just have to have a full disclosure moment. As you said, 18 minus 7, the 12th, whatever it was. Well,
yeah, that's
that's
not right. That's
not
the
18
it was
minus 7. And
the
I was going to
11th.
make fun of you for it, but I couldn't because I couldn't figure out what it was either.
The
So
11th. Katie
I just had,
math is real.
I just had to throw that out
Yeah.
there.
Katie math is legit real. I
But I
mean,
didn't make fun of you because I couldn't get there either. So
no,
don't send us out to do your
please
calculation.
don't. I can
Sorry.
write words. I cannot calculate numbers.
Continuing on with your branch discussion,
So the best thing and the most popular item on the whole table,
which is always the goal.
yeah, right, was Jane, who's this lovely woman. Jane made those ham sandwiches with the butter, Worcestershire sauce, mustard spread.
I've
And
recently heard them described as funeral sandwiches.
funeral sandwiches. I love those sandwiches so much. I'm trying not to eat as much bread, but I ate more of those than I should. Also, I will say my giant cream cheese Danish that I took had none left. So that was also pretty popular,
Well done. Well
but
done.
everyone raved about, including me, especially me, raved about those sandwiches. And it made me remember I have another recipe that I love that is a variation of that uses a sheet of pizza dough, just Pillsbury pizza dough, and you roll it up and cut pinwheels and pour that yummy mixture all over the top and bake
Nice.
them. So what you have and linked in the show notes is that recipe. So it's a different way to do those sandwiches. But they're bigger obviously because they're the pinwheels, but they're really easy and really good.
I love it. Listen, I like a ham and cheese. I may have,
I love a hot ham and
yeah,
cheese.
I may have been really brave on Friday. I was back over close to Black Bear Bakery, and I went in
Yeah.
maybe to get myself a treat for my breakfast on my
Love it.
birthday, and got a loaf of bread, which you may remember
Uh,
last time I had a loaf of bread, I sliced the hell out of my fingers.
you are a warrior princess.
Listen, I went back in and I told the girl, I'm really scared that I'm going to get this loaf of bread. So I've been eating, and it's the best bread. So I
Love
may have had for lunch yesterday a just one slice of the bread with some ham and cheese and an egg on top.
Oh,
I'm contemplating counting my macros.
yeah.
I don't know that I really want to go all in on it, but
Not not until that bread's gone.
well, listen, that's the thing about counting your macros is that you can have bread if you're doing it. You just, it's all about, it's like, I can't remember the formula now. I think it's 40% protein.
Oh, see, that's higher level math.
I think it's 40, 30, 30. So 40% protein, 30% carbs, 30% fat. So as long as you are
Yeah.
balancing it out, you can still do it.
Yeah.
Let me tell y'all though, I've just been keeping it with what I'm eating already
Yeah.
and then trying to be let me add some more protein in here. It's hard to get your protein.
It is.
That's
Chia
a
seeds is
lot.
what I've been told.
What? Say
Chia
again?
seeds.
Chia seeds. Oh.
Yep.
Well, so really what started me thinking about doing this is I follow a woman on Instagram, um, Mary Claire Haver, I think is her name. She's
Yes.
a OBGYN who
Yes.
studied menopause.
Yes. Somebody suggested her this week when I was in Macon, and Lindsay, who's a listener. So thanks, Lindsay. So
Yep,
Mandee
Lindsay,
listens
I'm with
too.
you. I'm with
Yeah.
you. Love Mary Claire.
Yep.
She does. She's in Galveston, and so she has because everybody on Instagram. Some people balance their shilling of products with good information, which she does, but she does also shill her products.
Yeah.
And she has developed what's called the Galveston diet. But she'll also kind of just give you the hot tips, and her hot tips are basically protein and fiber, or what
Yes.
she's focusing on. So that's why I started thinking about it. And I thought, well, let me just see what I'm like a solid 25 grams of protein short.
Yeah. It's hard.
So I bought some protein powder, which I knew I was going to hate. So I didn't buy a big old thing of it. I bought some sample packs. And I
Yeah.
tried this morning to do the protein powder and some Greek yogurt. And I think I put too much protein powder in it.
Mm,
I'm gonna have to consult with the nephew on the protein powder consumption because
okay.
he's gonna be so excited that I might be thinking about doing protein powder.
So when you
So
do that, maybe he can come on and teach us all,
listen, he would be glad to.
because I need more protein. The chia seeds, now that I'm thinking about it, are more for the fiber.
I think they do have a lot of protein though too.
And so the Elizabeth granola. So I do no fat Greek yogurt, which has protein in it. I do the Elizabeth granola, which has fiber and some protein in it. And then they said to add chia seeds. Two people now have
Mm,
told me to add chia seeds to my
yeah,
yogurt, which of course I forgot to get.
bummer. Um, yeah, I just that protein powder. If you could still it was still
Gritty.
easy.
Yeah.
I think maybe if I did it in a shake and I had more liquid or something in it, that would work.
Yeah.
But, even eating two eggs
Yeah.
and some sort of meat for
Yeah.
breakfast, and I mean really focusing on protein, I'm still a solid 25 grams short.
So another friend of mine is doing the whole adding more protein, and she does in fact, when I go to Trader Joe's, I'm gonna get some. She does the frozen chicken sausage patties.
Hmm.
And she's like, I scramble like 3 eggs and then add egg whites. And I'm like,
Yeah,
whole lot
yeah,
of that's a lot of food. Like I don't
yeah,
normally eat that much in the
right.
mornings. But
Yeah,
that's how she gets a lot of protein.
there's a couple people I follow, like I was already following on Instagram, who have started talking about this a little bit too. Um, another one who's good is I think it's called Mary's Whole Life.
Okay.
She's also gluten free. So if you have
Oh,
celiac, she has celiac.
okay.
And I think she does, I think she's not allergic to dairy, but she's like lactose intolerant. So a lot of her stuff is gluten free and dairy free. Um, but yeah, she always will post her breakfast and it's like, 2 eggs plus egg whites plus sausage plus cheese, plus, and then the other one who's been counting macros, who I was really sort of surprised, is the one,
I'm sorry, I'm just pulling up. Will you say the name again?
I think it's Mary's Whole Life. She's a
Mary.
cute little blonde bob.
Mary's Whole Life. There she is. It's Mary Smith, which is not helpful because it's a
I
very normal name.
didn't realize
Um,
that was her name.
but it is Mary's Whole Life, no apostrophe, all one thing. You can find
Yeah.
her.
And then the other one is Jennifer Perillo.
Perillo. Okay.
I think it's Perillo. I don't, that may not be right. She
Yes, it is. All one word.
okay.
Jennifer Perillo.
She's like a for real chef. She develops the recipes for
Okay.
Marley Spoon, which is Martha Stewart's meal delivery.
Yes.
So like she's a for real chef. And
Yeah.
so she like that kind of I'm gonna come closer to following something she does than I am like, because I like food too much
Yeah.
to be sacrificing
Yeah.
what I want to eat. You know what I
I
mean? But anyway,
know.
just some interesting. But anyway, love a ham and cheese.
Yeah. And I almost made them for dinner this week because I ate so many of those sandwiches that Sunday. But then I thought that's a whole lot of bread.
Yeah. But listen, if you're doing your macros, Katie,
Let me tell you, it's tempting. I may do it next week.
just track what you eat now is what I started doing.
Well, and I do like I've
And see
started.
where it is and see,
Yeah.
like where you would have to go.
Yeah. But I am interested in the whole protein powder thing.
I'll keep you posted.
So
See what
keep
they
us
figure out.
posted. Definitely.
Yeah.
The other thing that I did not put on here, but I did see is there's a gymnastics meet this weekend.
That
And
would go under the Olympic moment, not the
the
food.
yeah, but so I moved on from food. I did my saltines and I did the roll-ups. Now I thought I would squeeze in an Olympic moment. Sorry.
That's all
Look,
right. I was like, okay.
let me tell you, I have had so much going on today. I don't know if I remember my full name.
Hey, it's all good. It's all
And I
good.
still have to finish writing a paper. It's only 3 pages, but I'm struggling with what to say so
Sometimes
bad.
make it the worst. Sometimes it's easier if you can just go on and on and on.
Yes, and this class. Ugh. Anyway, so um Olympic moment, Gabby, our friend Gabby, who was the all-around Olympic gold medalist in 12.
Gabby Douglas?
Yeah, Gabby Douglas. It's been a while.
Yeah, she old. This is our
She's
listen, if we
she's
named our
coming back.
episode, I know. If we named our episodes, we would have to come up with a cute old people name for this episode because everybody
Yeah.
old,
Everybody
counting
old.
macros and
Everybody
oh,
old.
twisting our ligaments and
Look, I still
Gabby
can't
gonna
believe
be
she tried to close the tailgate of her car with her toe.
Gabby coming back. She old.
Yeah, but she's this weekend. So she says she wants to do Paris. And I in my heart say, girl, don't. But out loud, I'm like, you go, girl.
Absolutely.
You go. If you want to do it, I'm here for it. But like, oh, please don't. So we'll see. I mean, she's gotta be
I mean, in real life, she's not old at all.
no.
Gymnastics life,
She's like 185.
111. She talks like Katie. She says water closet and lost her broom.
What's her bloom? I'm gonna tell you, Sunday I said twice in the
I'm
service,
gonna
"Want" I said "want biscuits" twice in the service.
said want biscuits.
Want biscuits, the kind that you want on the counter to open. Do you not call them malt biscuits?
Honey, I ain't never said want biscuit in my life.
Oh my gosh. You just want them on the counter to open them up.
Womp them up. Womp them up.
Walt
Womp them
biscuit,
upside the head. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Womp them up. My
right?
mom, my mama used to say that cheer, but
Yep,
she's my mama. She's not 111.
I am.
But she did go to high school in the 60s when they did womp them upside the
Womp them
head,
upside the head.
right behind 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits a dollar.
I did 2 bits. I can still do 2 bits. After church, when I preached my sermon on cheering, I did 2 bits in the aisle. I
She
mean,
can still do two. She put, can you do the toe touch?
no, no, no. Again, let me say, women of a certain age should not have their legs come up too high.
Listen,
Just throwing that out there.
stop it.
Um,
Um,
so
all right,
I'm sorry. I just wanted to sneak that in. I saw where Gabby has decided to give it another try, and I will cheer for her as loud as I can, but I
I
just
wish,
hope her
I
little
think
feelings don't
mainly,
get hurt.
I just think wish that mainly Gabby had something else in her life
Yeah, and I don't
that
think she
was
does.
fulfilling because
Yeah.
obviously she doesn't if she wants to come back.
I mean, last time she almost didn't even make the team. So the fact that she's going to try
And that
again,
wasn't the last Olympics, was it? That was Olympics before. I mean, it's been
yeah,
a minute.
yeah. I
That's
mean,
what I
go
was just
coach
listening.
somewhere. I would think she would be a great coach.
I was just
I
listening
don't know.
to the New Heights for this week, which is just Jason talking with
Yes.
2 of his old teammates who are retired.
The guy who fireman carried him out of the bar the first night he met
Yes,
Kylie Kelsey.
yes, and yeah, Jason still hasn't announced his retirement, so he hadn't decided what he wants to do. But he asked them, "Let's talk about retirement." They're like, "Okay, Kels, let's talk about retirement."
Let's talk about it.
And one of the things they were saying was, it's and I had never heard this take before, but and I can't remember whether it was Chris Long or the other one that said it, but they were
Bo.
talking about how it's dangerous and how that danger, like you miss that, because I've heard lots of people talk about like the adrenaline of
Yeah.
sort of performing every week, but he
Yeah.
was like, no, specifically it's the danger. And I was
I mean,
like, well,
it
so
is.
I would imagine that there's some of that in gymnastics too.
Oh, uh, you could break your neck at any point. I
Hmm.
mean, think about the beam and those things that they're doing. They hit the beam wrong. I mean, it could be tragic. One of
Right.
the most traumatic things I've ever watched in the Olympics was the Winter Olympics. I was young, probably a teenager, and it was a pairs, and they were not doing anything crazy.
That lift and he dropped her on her head.
No, they were skating like with one leg up, both of them. Like she was tucked up under him and he was behind her. And she hit a divot on the ice and went chin first and busted her face on the ice and bled everywhere.
Did she get up with her teeth?
No, I don't think so. I mean, like she was like very, like cut big time. Like she busted everything on her face. They had to pull out of the Olympics. Like it was like she was done. And I was like,
Yeah.
That's why I only think that I can do those things. I don't actually try them.
Woo. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all
Yeah.
right. Well, it's exciting. We'll
I
see
can
what
see that.
happens with
We'll see
Gabby.
what happens. We
Yeah.
will. So, Mandy, you've got a couple things on here that I have no idea what you're talking about. And then you got a couple things I'm super excited to hear your take on.
Okay.
So
Well,
tell
good.
me about your favorites.
So the first thing is a television show on Apple TV, not our sweet little World War II pilots. This is a
Right.
different one. It's called Slow Horses, and it is a modern day show set in London that follows an MI6, which is their version of the CIA, follows
Okay.
an MI6 segment portion. It's like the rejects from MI6 They were in
Okay.
MI6, but they got kicked out for some, or not, they couldn't get all the way kicked out, but they like are just so something's going on that they can't be in the official MI6.
I love it.
So they get put in their own little
Unit.
segment, whatever you want to
Okay.
call it.
All right.
Like one of them has a raging gambling habit.
Oh,
It's like,
whoops.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like that kind of stuff. But they end up. This is that I just finished watching their second season, and in both seasons they are solving a big time case that the real MI6 can't. Either
Oh.
because of corruption within the real MI6 or for whatever reason. But it's great. It's a great show. I love it.
Okay. I'm gonna have to add that one to my list because I had seen it but not watched it. And
Yep.
so
It's
I'm
very
okay.
good.
I'm gonna add
Very
it.
good. Love that.
Okay.
Um, and then I also started watching Mr. and Mrs. Smith on Amazon, which is the television show, not the
Mhm.
Brad and Angelina Jolie movie, which I will never watch because I'm still pissed on Jennifer Aniston's behalf.
Amen.
That happened. No. So this is the TV show that is Donald Glover,
And I
who
have watched this.
I freaking love Donald Glover.
I do. Oh, is he not
Love,
precious?
love Donald Glover.
So what do
Um,
you think about this show and him as an action star?
I've only watched 2 or 3 episodes, but
Okay.
I buy it.
Okay.
I'm in. He
I
had
love it. I
it's been more outsmarting action than a whole
there
lot of physical action, and
yes.
I 100% buy him outsmarting anybody.
So I think I went into it thinking it would be more like the original Mr. and Miss Smith, which was all action. It was no brains, clearly, because it's two pretty people. But
That wasn't very
these
nice.
two,
Pretty people can
these
be smart too.
they can. They have the ability. I'm not anyway. But this, I like your take on it that these are smarter operatives. And
Yeah,
so I think it's real I loved it. It was just not what I was thinking it was gonna be.
yeah.
They're
Uh,
hella awkward, which is hilarious.
right?
I like
Yeah,
from the start.
yeah.
They're super awkward people, but they're
It's
really
just
smart, and it's been
gotta be
really it
true
was really
to
good.
like imagine being. I mean, the people the CIA are recruiting who
Yeah,
then immediately have to go pretend they're married. Like that's got to be awkward.
yeah.
Um, but as I was watching it, and I haven't even gotten to an episode that Ron Perlman is in yet, but I saw a picture of Ron Perlman, and I was like, freaking love Ron Perlman, and it took me straight back to Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
Did you watch Sons of Anarchy?
I've seen snippets of it, but I never got through the whole thing.
I need you to watch the first 2 seasons of Sons
Okay.
of Anarchy. Jax Teller on Sons of Anarchy, who's not Ron Perlman. I don't know that. Charlie Hunnam, I think is his name.
Oh, I love Troy. Oh,
My
that
lord.
man is beautiful.
Oh. But anyway,
Oh my
apparently
god.
Ron Perlman's going to show up on Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and I'm real excited about that. So anyway, like that, like that. It's another TV recommendation.
Yeah, it's really good.
Um,
I'll be when you finish it, I wanna circle back around.
okay, we can do that. It might be after baseball season's over.
There are
I
not
should
that
be
many
able to fit it in.
episodes. There are
I
not
should
that
be
many
able to.
episodes.
I should be able to fit it in before the Braves start because
Yeah,
it's
there
just college right now. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
next is a music recommendation. One
Oh,
Mr. John Moreland.
alright. Every time she does this, I have my phone at the ready so I can do whatever this is where I do whatever Mandy tells me to.
John Moreland is phenomenal. Um, just a great songwriter, really sort of deep, almost gravelly bass voice. Um, and I just love him. Like his songwriting is just
So do you
right up
think I
my
should
alley.
add the essentials or is there a specific album that I need to
The
add?
essentials, the
Okay.
essentials. Um, it's all good.
Add to library.
And I've started following him on Instagram, and it's been fun. Like he plays a lot of stuff. on Instagram, and it's fun to watch. So would recommend some John Moreland. Um, and then the
Follow.
last thing is a line of skincare.
I do need John Moreland to do something different. I don't know about this mustache, John Moreland.
Let him
Not that
live.
he listens.
Let him live.
Well,
Um, listen, who's looking at his mustache when he's got a bald, tattooed head?
well, at first I thought it was shaved that way. I was like, nope, those are tats.
Yeah, no. Okay, and the last thing is I don't know how to pronounce it. It's French. Avène, Avène. It actually has an accent over it, which I did not go through the trouble of adding on the
Right?
note. But anyway, it's Avene skincare, and particularly if you are having some sort of issue on your face, like if you got a dermatitis, if you've got eczema, if you've got something going on, um, like, or if you have sensitive skin, highly recommend this line of skincare.
So I just pulled up their website and it said for like if you have eczema, all the sensitive things. So that's
Yeah.
great.
So, there's one particular cream. It starts with a C. It's like CIF something, and ends in ATE. I don't know what it is, but anyway, that in particular has been recommended by several people. Like if you have an eczema breakout,
Mm,
flare up,
okay.
that is like magical.
Yeah.
Um, our girl Whirl,
Mm,
um, all
love
things
whirl.
skincare. Yeah, she's the one that turned me on to it. She had a bad, I think it was dermatitis breakout. Or no, she's allergic to so many things that, and if she puts it on her face, like it's over. So
Yeah.
she's the one that introduced me to it. But like the summer when I was in St. Simon's, my eyes got really, like my eyelids got really irritated, and I just used their cream.
Yeah.
It's just soothing. And anyway, I've just decided now is I need to replace things in my skincare regimen.
Mm,
I'm going with however you say this.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
it.
So
Great.
that's what I got.
What are you up to this week? What do
Nertha.
we have to look forward to next week from you?
We were supposed to be going to Auburn tomorrow for a School of Architecture open house
The
on Friday.
loveliest village on the plains.
But that trip has been canceled
Oh,
because the nephew did not get his form signed in time. So that has been canceled.
okay.
So yeah, wide open.
You go to Auburn more than I go to Auburn.
I've been once.
Well, again, I haven't been in years now. I had said the other day I really wish I had gone to a basketball game or tried to get to a gymnastics meet since Suni Lee was an Auburn student. They've just gone crazy for gymnastics, which is great.
Yep.
And so those are fun. I want to go back over there, but maybe we'll meet there sometime if
Yeah, right.
if the nephew will get his form in on time.
What about you? What's happening?
So I've had um it's been a long few weeks. We'll just leave it at that. It's been a
Yeah,
long few weeks.
been a long year.
It's been a long year so far, and it's not been a great one. And so Friday, I'm so excited. I know I told y'all I joined the Atlanta Botanical Gardens, and they are having a floral exhibit, like a cut flower arranging floral exhibit. I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, it's just this weekend. And so a friend of mine and I are going Friday morning. I can only get tickets for 10 o'clock because I think they're all sold out. So I'm super excited to get some
Every
pretty
garden
pictures.
club in the metro area is
I'm
probably.
sure. Um, and then I'm gonna be reading about Jesus the rest of the time. Oh, Monday I am getting this lovely skin tag cut off my almost eyeball. So I'll be going to make him, but for only like 5 minutes because it'll only take him 5 minutes to cut it off. But it's gotten bigger, and so I'm really glad to get that taken care of.